not only how, but why did you start the company? What was it that really just moved you to get Frank Crum Insurance going?
It was 1980, and I was manager of Olston Temporary Services for Central Florida, which is now Adecco. We became very successful and very large, and he said, let's start a staffing business. I said, Dad, I don't want to start a staffing company. That's a lot of work and a lot of pressure on me. He said, well, then I'll start it. I said, Dad, you won't make it. You're against old timers that are seasoned, and you've never been in the staffing business. So I left my job. We started the staffing company in June of 1981, and it took off. And the staffing industry has always had something called payroll transfer plan. It's a lot like employee leasing, where companies put their employees on the staffing company's payroll, and the staffing company did the payroll, did the workers' comp, the unemployment, the taxes, much like employee leasing.
Familiar.
So I started off in that business. I found a lot of companies that like to do that. A couple of years into that, and I don't remember the exact year, maybe 83, I heard about California, and they were doing something called employee leasing for doctors and medical people. And I said, that's what we do. We're going to be an employee leasing company when we go out and sell this now. And so we did. And in January 1st, 2006, I broke off from the staffing company and started an employee leasing company. And it grew and grew, and then it was very successful, but it grew so much I needed stronger management. So my dad came over from the staffing company and became the senior vice president and managed the daily operations of the PEO, or the employee leasing company, because he was a great driver, a great manager of people, and he put together the payroll departments and put that schedule and that flow in that we needed, just like he had done in manufacturing. And I took care of the banking and the sales and the insurance and things like that. It was a good marriage, and until he died in January of 2006, it was a great team and a great ride, and I couldn't have done it without him.
In the beginning of the idea of the family running the business, right? It started with father and son, and now it's gone down to, again, father to son and daughter.
Absolutely. And I think the future's bright. I don't say this braggadocious. Haley and Matt I've spent a lot of time and energy on their educations. They're go-getters. They're forward thinkers. They're very progressive in their thinking, and they're taking the company as we speak to the next level. And the future, we're going to be much better every year than we were the year before.
That's fantastic. That's great to hear. And you kind of already have described Frank Crum a little bit in your own words, but tell me really about Frank Crum, the company. What is it, and what's it become for you?
I would describe it like this, and this is what I believe about our company. My philosophy is that you hire great people in their area that are much better than I was or Senior was in their area. Tell them our philosophy and let them do their job. And you inspect what you expect. And you try to treat people with integrity, with honesty, make them a family, give them the opportunity to grow, and teach people that Frank Crum's not about profit. It's about service and about taking care of people, because you can never rebuild a bad reputation. You build a reputation one day and one client at a time. And we believed if we took care of clients the way we wanted to take care of clients, that the money and the profits would come and that we would be honored for doing that. And it's worked out that way.
What direction do you think the workers' comp market is headed?
I probably isn't the answer that you want to hear. I think the workers' comp market is going to continue on the way it is. It's not going to change that much or very drastically. I think the courts are always going to rule in favor of the injured worker and make sure that they're covered. And I think it's one of the most important areas that any company has is employee safety and having a good workers' comp policy.
This one always a personal one to me because I hear this a lot. You hear about the PEO industry takes a hit every now and then because one bad PEO out there gets a lot of publicity for going under, for doing things the wrong way, and it gives the whole industry a black eye, and you get a lot of detractors to the industry because of that. What would be your response to those detractors who are talking about the industry in a negative way due to these one or two bad apples?
Well, I've been around the industry over 36 years. There's been a few bad players that went out. In the early days, there was a few that actually cost some people some money, especially workers' comp carriers and group health and major medical carriers. But for the most part, from what I see, when there is a player that goes out, another PEO absorbs the clients and takes care of the clients and makes it good, and they take over the company. I think there's probably 1,000 PEOs in the United States. But what I think I would honestly tell a potential client, either go with a large stock company, a nationally owned company that's, sells stock, or go with a very seasoned and established PEO that has a great track record. And you'll probably avoid any of those concerns whatsoever.
Gotcha, that's great advice. How do you see PEOs playing a role in the modern world? HR, payroll, workers' comp, all those things wrapped together. Do you see that it's changed at all, or is the PEO still playing basically the same role? And what is that in your mind?
The PEO is night and day to what it used to be. Today, a PEO is the very heart and soul of companies of all sizes, but especially companies that have less than 100 employees. They're the heart and soul with a great human resource platform, with a great benefit platform. Things like 401k, group health, major medical, dental, all of the platforms. And the platforms of workers' comp and workers' comp safety and good there. And the PEO industry is just the heartbeat of those companies because it would cost them a fortune to hire the staff to do it. And we actually give them the advice and the benefits of a Fortune 500 company, even though they may only have 50 employees.
Excellent. And I know you already talked about that workers' comp has not changed much and you don't expect much change, but how about the PEO world itself? Do you expect to see, you're saying it's miles different from what it used to be. Is there something that is looming out in the future that you see the PEO world adapting to?
Yes. The demand from clients for technology platforms that are state-of-the-art is just constant. We have meetings every week with new requests from potential clients, and our IT staff is working full throttle to try to keep up with them, and it is a faster and faster moving treadmill. And I think that one of the great things of the future, that the PEO is going to become irreplaceable if they continue to evolve in the technology space, because the demands are great, as you can see, going forward in this country. And I think that is one of the things that the PEOs are going to just make themselves irreplaceable to some companies with all the things they're going to be able to do. We're just weeks away and months away and a year away from unbelievable abilities that our clients can use.
Wonderful, and so far been amazing, but do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to offer?
Well, I would just like to say that I was honored to be interviewed, and I would like to say that to clients, to potential clients, to brokers, anyone, don't ever take shortcuts. Do it the hard way, do it the right way. In the long run, you're going to be the winner. If every day you wake up and do the right thing for the right reason, and you make sure you can look yourself in the mirror and said, I did everybody right that I dealt with today, and tomorrow will take care of itself. And that's what my thoughts are.
Thanks again, Frank. I really do appreciate
Thank
all
you.
of your time. Thank you.